Hello, Senior Stoner fans. It's the real Senior Stoner back at you for your Terpinator Gallery Real Dab of the Day. We're going to try it again. Hello, everybody. Today is Thursday. Unfortunately, my life has been very painful lately, so the topic of today is overcoming chronic pain. Let's discuss. Well, we know chronic pain is a serious problem, but it's often made worse by misinformation, negative attitudes, beliefs, outdated ideas, and negative emotions. It is recognized that chronic pain is often mismanaged, not because we lack adequate treatments, but because of fear and ignorance. These steps that I'm going to talk about here may help us mentally cope with chronic pain a little bit better. Let's discuss. Well, first of all, you want to make sure you understand what kind of problem your pain really is. Chronic pain is different than other medical problems, which can often be treated relatively easily and successfully. Chronic pain is a complex illness caused by a combination of physical, psychological, and neurological factors. I call it the hamster wheel because it keeps going. The multiple causes make it difficult to pinpoint any one cause for the pain. Therefore, any one treatment. The pain is also often dismissed or poorly treated because of the baggage of old ideas about pain. An example would be pain where the physical causes are known is often undertreated. They don't believe it exists. This is despite the fact that the role of neurological factors means pain can occur in the absence of external causes, and that such pain should not be dismissed or considered abnormal. I think the medical community has done a terrible job dealing with chronic pain. The establishment has struggled to meet the challenge of pain and now recognizes that the problem cannot be overcome without combining input from multiple disciplines: psychology, physical therapy, psychopharmacology, psychiatry. Pain is also a subjective experience which is impossible to accurately measure. Ain't that the truth? It involves a range of emotional reactions which include anxiety, fear, depression, and denial, of course. Well, you have to accept your pain. Chronic pain is often so awful that sometimes it's easier to escape it into wishing it had never happened, like me, or hoping for a miracle cure. If persistent, common reactions can actually become a bit of a trap because you need to face the reality of what's happened and find a constructive program on how to deal with it. And acceptance, let me tell you, means a lot more than just knowing it up here intellectually that you have pain. It means you have to allow yourself, give yourself permission, which I have a hard time, to feel the anxiety, the fear, the anger, the grief that go with this type of pain. Acceptance is truly a process, I believe, which requires progressively acknowledging all our feelings and getting our physical and emotional needs met. But in order to accept and go through the negative emotions associated with the chronic pain, you have to have a safety and support system. Safety means having control over your pain through the right combination of interventions. Support means having adequate emotional support through family, friends, or therapies to give you a feeling of containment and security. The end product, frankly, of acceptance is reduced pain, inner peace, less anxiety, and maybe even better coping mechanisms. You've got to take control also. 40 years plus in this pain. Gets to be a little hopeless once in a while. Gets to be a little angry, a little defeated. Well, you know what? I don't think I caused it. But you know what? Life's not fair. So it doesn't matter who I blame or what I blame for how it happened or anybody what we blame. We have to take a path to solve the problem. We have to find a way to get information, communicate, and we have to be involved with our pain management strategies. Okay? That is control. And we need to decide, probably here and now, whether you want to be a victim or a survivor or a passenger or a driver. Our individual pain is nobody else's problem but our own. And frankly, it's our caregivers and the people who love us too. But we have rights and some responsibilities as a patient. Because chronic pain is difficult to detect or measure, we need to be informed and we need to be active participants in our treatment. We can't be afraid to ask questions. This is one of those situations where there is no bad question. And you have to develop a good relationship, a good working relationship, open and honest with your doctors and medical practitioners. Underreporting of pain by people is the number one reason for mismanagement. These people probably have a terrible relationship with their doctors. I speak the truth constantly. It sucks because it hurts, but that's reality. And you must never, never ignore your pain. You see, some doctors recommend in treatment of chronic pain that the patient ignore it. Well, guess what? They think nothing's physically wrong with you, and that's wrong. That approach represents what's called a pendulum swing, away from the old-fashioned notion of prescribing bed rest in favor of maintaining activity. The idea is that inactivity only leads to depression and doesn't help the problem. But with certain types of pain, you can get a cycle of aggravation with sleep deprivation, exhaustion, increased pain, increased suffering. You gotta make sure you pace yourself and you watch yourself and how you're reacting to things. You have to have a balanced approach to physical activity. You don't want to do nothing because you're going to be fearful of pain. But you gotta have a place that you know that if you're going to walk the dog, you're going to need 2 days of bed rest. That doesn't make sense. So you got to almost be your own coach via trial and error to see how far, how long, how much you can do. You've got to maintain or try to get better quality of sleep somehow. I've talked about this in many individual videos, but with chronic pain, dealing with it, you've got to be rested. It's a better mechanism for your overall stress management and pain management. And you also have to make sure that you have adequate support. You know, you got to think about it. It's not just doctors, okay? You've got to have support. If you can't lift things, you've got to have people to lift things for you. You've got to have people to do physical things for you. So the negative reactions of others can have a discouraging effect on people in chronic pain talking about their problem or seeking help. But you must. Life isn't fair. The reality is it's ridiculous to expect yourself in chronic pain to cope with your own chronic illness that robs you of the ability to do the things you need to do to take care of yourself. So that's pretty ridiculous, right? So you have to remember that you can't expect people who don't have pain to understand what it's like. People who live with people like me, Mrs. Stoner, who's so close to me and loves me so much, she knows when I'm in pain, but she doesn't feel the pain. So it's very frustrating, and it's easy to get angry when you think people don't understand. But it's not because they don't want to. Especially children, even adult children of yours, they don't understand. They say, gee, I hope you feel better, but they don't understand the complexity and severity of what's going on. You know, the implications of a condition like chronic pain is a lesson for people who are around you. And unfortunately, the lesson has to be learned, which means they have to repeat being around you and see what's wrong and see that you're not faking and see the truth. And the ultimate solution is maybe the most difficult, I'm going to suggest here, to coping with chronic pain. We being the people in chronic pain, we need to forgive ourselves. Yes, we do. Because I know, you know, we all know how guilty we feel for the pain we have. We didn't do it to ourselves, but we feel guilty because of what it does to our loved ones, our family, our friends, our situation, those around us. It puts a lot of undue pressures on other people, but there might not be an alternative. You just need to move through it, make your way through it the best you can. Look, this is not a great topic to talk about. Who wants to talk about chronic pain? But we're talking about solving it. We're talking about moving through chronic pain. There is the hope. So if you enjoyed today's discussion or got something from it, and it will help you deal with your chronic pain, subscribe to the channel. If you want to shoot me your comment, I reply to every comment. This has been the Real Senior Stoner. Now we're going to do a real dab the best way that I can figure it out. Here we go. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Try it again. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Hope I'm doing this right. Heat the thing. Heat the banger for like 60 seconds. Heating it. Heating the banger. Heating the glass, the nail, whatever it's called. Heating it. Heating it, heating it, heating it. Then drop in your material, and it should melt off, right? There it goes. Don't burn my hand. Okay, melting off. Now I put the cover on. And let's see if this works. Here we go. I'm stumbling through, everybody, but this is Senior Stoner taking a real dab off his TerpinatorGallery.com Terpinator rig. Here we go. Oh my. That is some it. Well, if you enjoyed today's discussion, hit subscribe. Thanks for watching today's discussion on how to deal with and manage chronic pain. Cheers.